Man is a social animal by default. He wants to share his life with others and also desires to be part of others' life. It is almost impossible to live a solitary life unless you have extreme situations to face in life. Interestingly, on the contrary, in today's digital age, we are so much mingled with others' life actions that experts are suggesting to cultivate privacy in life. Privacy or privacy, whichever way you would like to pronounce. Does not it seem unusual to you? At least to me, it definitely does. People really feel happy to see others in problematic situations because they themselves are unable to solve their personal problems. Hello everyone, how are you all? This is your host Devottam and you are listening to Better You, Better Life, a self-improvement plan SIP podcast, Season 1, Episode 40. Today we are discussing about workplace issue. An issue which we normally encounter in our everyday life but we find it very difficult how to manage with it. We are discussing about how we should preserve, how we should protect our privacy at workplace. We know that we live in a social animal and we know that we live in a social environment and where encounters or interactions with other people is indispensable. But there is a certain limit up to which we would like to allow people to barge in our personal space and be comfortable with it. Exactly, we are discussing about how to preserve your privacy at your workplace. This is a self-reflective episode and I hope that I will be able to make points that which might help you in your everyday office life. Continuing with the context, in today's interconnected world where professional and personal lives often overlap, especially due to COVID lockdown when this work from home concept became more obvious in different companies, it can be tempting sometimes to share your personal experiences and life challenges with your colleagues. After all, building a sense of camaraderie and trust in the workplace is very essential. But at what cost? Isn't it? There should be a fine line between openness and oversharing. This episode will explore the importance of not unnecessarily revealing your personal life at the office and offers practical solutions to maintain your privacy and professional reputation. First of all, we should reflect on why we should be little cautious. There are multiple reasons. Reason number one, we should avoid being a topic of gossip. See, sharing personal details like any life event or any family event is fine, but your absolutely personal things like your likes and dislikes or what you do in everyday life, all these details can inadvertently make you the subject of office gossip. Your co-workers might mean well, but even innocent conversations can escalate into rumors which may spoil your reputation at your office. So, my dear friends, why unnecessarily invite problems in your life? Reason number two that why you should be cautious is protecting your privacy. While it's natural to bond with colleagues, oversharing can lead to an invasion of your personal space. Maintaining a boundary between your work and personal life is crucial for your mental and emotional well-being. Reason number three on why you should be cautious is about preventing yourself from being judged unwantingly. See, people are the fastest species in this world to judge others without any logic. They have their own biases and they will have their own conclusion and they will try to create a story in their mind without even verifying it. So, my dear friends, do not share your actual income, family problems, or any such insensitive information unknowingly to let people judge you. People tend to form options very quickly, and sharing personal problems or challenges may lead to colleagues making judgment about your character or your abilities. So now what can be the way forward for this? Like how we can solve this issue? First solution can be set clear boundaries. So determine what aspects of your personal life you're comfortable sharing and what you should keep private in yourself. Once you are able to establish those boundaries for yourself and stick to them consistently. Remember, colleagues are colleagues. They can never be friends. Of course, exceptions are there. Friends who studied with you in your college were not friends. They were companions. I realize that now. People who were witness to your mischiefs during your childhood were not your friends. It is just that they were destined to become part of some time in your life. So were you for them. Now tell me honestly, like how many of your school friends you are in touch, still in touch today, discussing problems about life, about other situations. Instead, a friend can be someone who challenges your thought process. One who has the guts to say that you were wrong even if you feel you are right, who will never be jealous or expect anything from you but will be happy for your growth and progress. So, do we get such individuals in our current life? I think only in fingertips. So, keep maintaining clear boundaries and be mindful about what you want to share with your surroundings. Focus on professional conversations. Encourage discussions related to your work projects, industry news, or shared interests. This will help steer conversations away from personal matters. The more mind is engaged in your professional things, less likely that you are going to peep in somebody's personal space, isn't it? Also, master the art of vague responses. In short, be an enigma at the office. When confronted with personal questions, you can respond diplomatically without much divulging into it. For example, you can say, I appreciate your concern, but I prefer not to discuss my personal matters at work. Utilize breaks wisely. I think in most of the companies, the best time of personal conversations is during lunch break or tea or coffee breaks. Use these breaks and lunch hours to recharge and relax. These moments can provide a reprieve from work-related discussions and allow you to maintain your personal space. Seek support outside of your work. If you are going through a tough time or you need someone to talk to, consider confiding in your friend circle, family circle, or a therapist. These individuals can offer you emotional support without the risk of workplace gossip. Lastly, lead by an example. Be mindful of your own actions and behavior. See, if you respect your colleagues' privacy, they are more likely to reciprocate. This creates a culture of mutual respect within your workplace. Focus on your professional growth and accomplishments. When your colleagues see you as a dedicated and skilled team members, personal matters become less of a focal point. On a concluding note, maintaining a level of privacy at the workplace is essential to protect your professional image as well as your personal well-being. While building relationships and trust with colleagues is important, It is also equally crucial to establish boundaries to avoid becoming the subject of unnecessary office discussions. By implementing these practical solutions, you can strike a balance between openness and professionalism, fostering a healthier work environment for yourself and your colleagues. Remember, it's not about hiding what you are, but about safeguarding your personal space in a professional setup. From whatever experience I have shared so far, I now realize what needs to be shared and what needs not to be shared with others. I hope you find this episode value to you. In the next episode, we will discuss about some other topic or other skill in order to become better version of ourselves. In the meantime, enjoy your weekend. This is your host Devottam signing off.